Okay.
Right, I think we are now recording. Hello, I'm Fiona Crawford. I have with me here today Amy Wootton, who is from Tucson, Arizona. I thought it would be great to do an interview with you now, Amy, getting your feelings and impressions having just bought the Wholesale Formula. Now, I know your husband's been involved with Amazon before in a different manner. Would you like to tell me a bit about that?
Yes. Yeah, I was quite intrigued when I saw your post, because I had learned a little bit more about Amazon through my husband. He had worked many years ago with a college friend of his, selling books. And so he kind of knew a little bit about the online sales experience, buying books and then selling it online, not necessarily Amazon at that time, but then later on when he and I met, he learned a little bit more about Amazon and Amazon fulfillment specifically then, and was trying to convince me about it. And I was a little bit hesitant at the time because I didn't really understand it. I didn't really I don't know. But he ended up convincing me and trying it, and enjoyed it. But it, as well as we did, it was a chore. It was the retail arbitrage part of it, where you'd have to trek to Target and Walmart and shop the sales and try to find stuff that we think is going to sell okay online or whatever, but we really don't know. And so it's uncomfortable buying stuff and hoping you're going to get something from it. But it ended up going well, but it was kind of a chore, and me being in business before, I've been always trying to look for opportunities that are sustainable, and that is not necessarily something that I have to just continue the grind to keep going. I want to set up an engine that's going to go whether I'm necessarily sitting at the computer doing something or not, something that's going to just sustain myself or sustain the family. And so I'd been aware of the Wholesale Formula. I think it was about a year ago, maybe sometime in February, I don't know. But I was introduced to this opportunity a while ago and was intrigued by it. And I listened to a real short video and I was like, oh my gosh, because it was about Amazon, I have to show this to my husband. But at the time he was like, oh, I don't know, I've been listening to some people, I kind of want to stick with the people that I've been listening to. And I'm like, yeah, but this guy is really man, it was fantastic, you should listen to it. Well, it just kind of fizzled out then. I guess I didn't do a good enough job convincing him then. But then it turned around again and I saw the link for you, and I'm going, oh man, okay, I've got to listen to this, I really got to listen to this. And I went through the whole thing and I'm just like, geez, man, I can't let this pass up again. I really have to get my husband to listen to this. And it can't come from me or he's going to be like, oh, I don't know. So I begged him, to listen to it. And he did. And he's like, well, sure enough. Okay, I really like what the guy has to say. And there was a few points in the video, mind you, this is the same person that I listened to about an hour of what he was talking about earlier. It's the same person, so he's got the same fire, the same energy, the same, likeness about him. And I'm like, okay, he's gonna like it. And he picked up on some very key things in the video that converted him. And that was because he already knew a little bit about Amazon fulfillment, but there were pieces of it that he wished he knew that he didn't. And that's what was addressed in this video. And I'm like, yes, I think he's liking it. And so after the after the end of the video, we were talking about it, and he shared with me some of the things that he was kind of like skeptical. I don't know, we'll see, and I was like, oh, I thought that would catch your eye, I don't know if I should say what it was or not, but still, it was really cool because he said, yeah, that's the piece that I was missing. That was the piece I was missing when I learned through some other people, YouTube videos.
Please tell us what this piece was.
Well, one of the pieces was the formula to determine if a product is actually going to be something that you can trust will sell.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a big deal, because when we were going to, the stores, before we knew this, we just had to have a sense for it. There wasn't
Right.
really like a concrete way to determine, is this a good product to put in our store,
Yeah.
right? And so when he was talking about the formula, and, literally, like, that's the thing that he doesn't like, or I don't like, is when we're listening to a video that's sharing an opportunity, it's a lot of fluff about stuff and, oh, it's so cool, but there's not really this concrete something that says, hey, you're going to learn this and so much more. They don't give you a super valuable piece of information. That was a valuable piece of information for him that made him go, okay, I think this guy knows what he's talking about. And then it was easier for me to convince him to say, well, hey, I think we should really go for it this time, because, I've done business before, and I've gone to millionaire mind meetings and all kinds of stuff when I've heard lots and lots of business opportunities and speeches and blah, blah, blah. And it's all rah, rah and everything. But then you get to the money part, and I'm just like, yeah, gosh, that's really hard. That's a really hard thing to do. And I've always heard that it's really valuable to have a coach.
Yes.
Somebody to help you really learn the ins and outs of a process. And I'm like, no, I can't afford the coach. I want to, it makes sense. I just can't do it. But this time when we saw this, because of all this background that he already experienced with Amazon, we've already tried it, and yes, it works, but it was a lot of work. And there's still pieces that we know is missing. We just felt like, you know what, I think we've got to go for it. And we're just going to have to batten the hatches and go for it. And so we're now doing this 50-50. We're doing the homework together. We've started watching the modules and everything, and they're doing the introduction part, and yet they're still giving us missing pieces of information that's like, yes, I think we're going to get exactly what we need to hear. So that's really what sold us on this. So I'm very excited to be doing this. Very excited.
Yeah, you sound it. I mean, it's just fantastic.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. Well, most of the questions I actually had listed here, you've more or less answered already.
Yay! Well, I feel it. I feel very comfortable with, this is kind of what we've been looking for, really.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Because you've tried some other things before other than Amazon, is that right?
Yeah. Yeah, we've tried lots of different things. I mean, oh my gosh, all across the map, and I still do a few things on the side, but I've done, working with essential oils. I'm a wellness coach. I have worked with chiropractors before in their offices doing, wellness, coaching and consulting, and done freelance on my own. And I've dabbled a little bit in affiliate marketing and, marketing things. And there's lots of fantastic opportunities out there, but this one just really resonated with us. And I think it resonated because we liked the experience working with Amazon. We liked that it had all the, the marketing handled for us, really. It's really just, finding a product that we can feel comfortable knowing this is going to serve us well, and how to do that. It's really the piece that we were looking for, because we had that background. It was kind of a no-brainer for us, and I think it's a long time coming, but really glad that we found the opportunity, and I can't wait to learn it all.
Well, excellent. I'm really, really pleased for you.
Thank you.
And so, yeah, so I was going to ask what your impressions of the course are so far, but you've really answered that as well. Is there anything else you want to add on that?
Yeah, I think the video it's got two gentlemen that are mainly doing the talking. One of them is kind of doing the teaching, and the other one kind of has some interjections to talk about, like expanding a little bit on, from maybe a client perspective or someone who's learning perspective. And so I like that part of it. But we're really at the introduction part. So they're kind of giving us an overview. of what we're going to be learning, and trying to give us, like a outside viewpoint of, what the experience is going to be like, what we're going to learn and all that stuff. And then they'll start drilling down. So we're kind of in the introduction part of it. But even in the introduction, there are pieces that you learn that, like I was saying, my husband says, oh yeah, I can't wait until they actually get to that part, because I'm still not sure how that works. But it's because of what they're saying in the intro, we know that that's going to be covered. And so it just really eases our mind to feel like, hey, I think we found what we've been looking for.
That's just fantastic. Now, I have got one more question to ask about your feelings. What were your feelings when you actually hit that buy button?
Oh my gosh. Well, so because of the times that we're in, I will just say that finances are a little stressful right now. And so on top of just, any type of opportunity where it costs, some money, rightfully so. I mean, you have to learn it. You have to learn the material. That does not come free. Yeah. Not anything worth of value comes free. So aside from just that part, we're in a time where it's already tough. So for us, it's kind of panicky to do it. But even though it was a financial fear to kind of dive into this, we were still comforted by the fact that because it's a familiar topic to us, and that we feel like it has those missing pieces that we've been looking for, that we've just got to hold on a little bit more, just a little bit more, trust the process, and it will come back. So we really feel strongly that it's going to come back, and fairly quickly. So we trusted and just hit the button. I was like, oh my gosh, we did it. Oh, okay, we have to make this serious. We've got this homework every single day. We're going to do it. We're going to do it. So,
excellent.
Yeah.
Right. Well, thank you so much for talking to me about this and being so open about it all. If you don't mind, I'd really like to come back and do another interview with you in sort of 30 days or so and see how you're getting on with both the course and with your new business.
Sounds like a plan. I look forward to it.
Excellent. Well,
I can't wait to tell you all the good news.
Yeah, exactly. Well, thank you so much for interviewing with me. And
thank you for the interview, and it's a pleasure to meet you as well. And thank you very much for doing what you did, because if you hadn't posted that, that full circle opportunity might not have come back into my life for a while. So thank you for that.
Well, absolutely. I'm so pleased that I did post it for you.
Yeah, me too. Thank you.
Okay. Speak to you in a month or so.
Sounds like a plan. Have a wonderful day.
And you.